It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. Little Glock. You ever wondered why the other nations have done what they've done to you? Have you ever wondered why the other nations fight against you? Why they hate on your lifestyle? Why they come against you so viciously? The reason why is because of your power. When we use the word God, we're actually saying power. That's what the word God means. It means power. Well, different things have different power. As an example, what is the power of a scorpion? Its power is in its tail. What about the serpent? Its power is in its bite. What about an octopus? The ink. Y'all get the point. Everybody and everything has its own power that preserves it, protects it, keeps it safe. Some things it's chameleon or disguising itself as something else is its power. Well, that's the power of this world. It's not your power, Israel. And that's why you don't find success trying to use that power source, because it ain't yours. Scorpion has its tail. It doesn't use ink. So if you, Israel, are that scorpion, why are you trying to use ink as your source of power? And why are you concerned or interested in what the other creatures are using as their power? Well, that power is cool, so I want to have that power. That seems like it's more powerful than the gift I have, so I want to use that power. That's Israel's problem. It always has been, if you read the Bible. Chasing after the other nations. In other words, chasing after ink, chasing after bite and a poisonous bite. Chasing after the jaws of a bear and his claws, if you understand what I'm saying. Chasing after another creature's source of power instead of your own power that you were given. Now, if you don't know the power that you were given, can you use it? See why the other nations fight against you, keeping you away from your source of power, or in other words, your God. What does it matter what someone else says their power is if you have your own? Well, it's when you don't think that you have your own. That's when you get captivated by somebody else's so-called power. And you start envying and you start desiring it for yourself. Same thing Israel did with the nations, like I'm saying. That's why Abba had to tell you, come out of there. Stop being like them. Stop conforming to their image. Stop changing from what you are to what they are. Because that's not your power. Your power is in what you are. Now, how can you deny what I just said, that your power is in what you are, when Israel found out that their power was called I am? Not the Babylonians are, not the Medo-Persians are, not the Greeks are, not the Romans are. Not the Americans are, but I am. Now, they were introduced to their power through who? Moses. Because Moses was introduced to the power. Or as the scripture says, face to face. So then he found the power, or the power was revealed to him. And then when he went to go tell the children of Israel the name of their power, he said, I am. Isn't that what it's written in there? So then Israel, if Israel searches outside of I am for any power, what are they doing? Idol worshiping, hating God, being rebellious, kicking against the pricks, going against the grain, whatever words will help you make sense of this. You're going against your power, which is I am. In other words, you're going against yourself. Because if you're going against your power, aren't you going against yourself? And then what happens when you go against yourself? You die. But what happens when you be yourself? You live. So coming into I am causes you to live. Staying separate from I am causes you to die. So the octopus, he gets attacked. He doesn't know he lets out ink, which disorients his enemy and allows him to escape. He doesn't know that he does that. He doesn't even know he has the power to do that. Remember what we said? They deny the power thereof. So they don't know they have this, so they never use it. So if you don't know you have I am, will you ever use it? That's the nation's job against you, Israel. Is to get you to never know your God, whose name is I am. And as strange as that seems to you, that's God's name, that's what he told you it is. Y'all act like just because something is strange, that means it ain't true. Well, are you a strange people? God's people? Are you peculiar? And you happen to be the true people. So then the peculiar, strange thing is what's true in this world. Well, how does that make sense, grandson? Because God says in this world, they call good evil and evil good. See? See? So this explains your treatment by the other nations who are heathens, who are godless, who are pagans. See? They perceive their power comes from an idol. Oh, there's a cross up there with some bronze statue on it with his arms up and his feet together with some nails. That's God. Okay, that's an idol. You worship that if you want to. You believe power comes from that if you want to. But as for me and my house, I'm going to serve I am. That's who I'm going to serve. I'm going to tend to I am. I'm going to become a servant to I am. Y'all don't understand that. God says you can serve him or you can serve mammon. So then what is he saying? You can either serve I am or you can serve material world. But the kingdom of heaven is within you. Excuse me, y'all. So you decide today who you're going to serve. The material world or the kingdom within. I am. Because ain't that where I am is? Enemies don't want you knowing that. They hate that. I told you, those who labor and labor and labor hate the one who's kicking back with his feet up. If you don't believe me, then just go stay with one of your family members after you have become an adult. Go and live with them and see if eventually y'all don't end up having some issue about you getting up and going to work. going and getting you a job. That's going to be the issue. And this is the thing about thinking that power is outside of you. Well, then if you are a person on the earth, I don't care what race you come from, what country you come from, what people you come from, where you was born, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're male or female, whether you're bond or free. If you worship something outside of yourself, then you do not worship the true and living God. Because how do you make something outside of yourself named I am? And then how do you reconcile a God outside of yourself? What with Christ said, which is the kingdom of heaven is within you. So then if you just do good math, 2 plus 2, you'll come out with 4. If you don't complicate it and make something simple, not simple. That's why you're hated. That's why the nations are envious. That's why they treat you the way that they do. They want you to be a part of their system, but they want you, the only way you can be a part of their system is to be a slave in it. Watch this. There's one man, he's saying, I am a star basketball player on my team. I'm the best basketball player on my team. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I am the best basketball player on my team. Now, let's say you're a teammate of his. Let's just say you're a teammate of his. You're not saying I am anything because you don't know I am. See, you don't know the power. He does. So now you're just going to be a role player on the team. See? Because you are only going to become what the one who's claiming I am has said you are. You become a character in their play because you don't have your own part. You don't have any identity. Just like those background people in the movie you watch. You don't know who they are. You don't know their name. Matter of fact, they're not even in focus half the time. They're blurry in the background. But yet the main character, you know everything there is to know about him. You know his name. You know his occupation. You know all kinds of aspects about him. See? The same goes here. You're being a background character in this world instead of separating from it completely and forging your own world, because that world you're looking for is within you and you must bring it out of you. That's what he said. You must bring it out of you. Kingdom of heaven is like a little measure of yeast that was buried in some dough. The dough is the world. The yeast is you. And when you were put into the world, you had a seed inside of you. And when it burst forth, it caused the whole world to change. Just like that lump of dough changed because it had yeast in it. Just like the flavor of your steak changes when you salt it. Now, what did Christ say you were? Out of all the nations of the earth, you are the salt of the earth. See how there's a separation going on here? Did he say you were separate? Yes. Be ye separate. Yes. You are special. Yes. You are holy. Yes. All of those are things he called you, not me. Abba called you that if you're Israel. And if he called you that, then that's making it very clear that you are somehow distinct. You are peculiar. You are set apart, different than the whole vast world. Why? Because you were chosen to create a new world in which you are the main player. And if your world has become manifest, see, like Esau called his world when he created it, it's manifest destiny. Okay. Well, now a new manifest is put in place. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth it. Jacob is Israel, by the way. So Israel is the second world. And where does the world come from? From within you. Christ already said that. The plans, the blueprints I told you about that an architect uses to build, those plans are written in your heart. All you have to do is bring them out by faith. Okay, I'm looking at a world that is unjust. I want a world that's just. So then I'm going to go inside of my heart and see such. There you go. Now you're bringing it out. I want a world that's fair. Bring it out. I want a world where things are what they are, not some disguise you can put over the top of it and make and deceive people. I want that world. We'll bring it out because somebody brought out this deception world. Somebody brought out this world where you lie and you scheme. Somebody brought out this world where you call evil good and good evil. Whose world is that? God told you whose world it is. Now, if you want to know whose world it is, look around and see which people benefit the most in a deception world. Since this is the deception world, none of you can deny that it is. If it wasn't, God wouldn't say come out and separate from it. But since he did say that, then we know it's corrupted. Whose corrupted heart made this world? The people that benefit the most in it. And the people that benefit the most in it are the people with the most corrupt hearts, the people that are the most unjust, the people that are the most unfair, the people that lie, that steal, that kill, and do everything Abba said not to do because this ain't Abba's world. If you read Hebrews, you'll say he made worlds with an S. That's the world God loves, where things are true, where things are free, where things are fair. That's the world he loves, and he's planted it in your heart to bring it out. And if you don't bring it out, then you'll continue to suffer in someone else's world. That's why God said, let my people go. You want them. Why? So they can work for you. Was they doing anything else in Egypt, Israel? Huh? Were the Israelites doing anything else in Egypt other than building it up and working? What are they doing in America? What did they do in Babylon? What did they do in Assyria? What did they do in Rome? What do they always do? Just like I've told you. So that you never know where your power is. You'll always think it's in what they got. Just like they thought when Christ was walking the earth. He said, man, render the things that are God's to him. Render Caesar what's his. Is Caesar the maker of my heart? Is Caesar the maker of my mind? Well, then who should I submit or give back my mind to? Who should I give my heart to? The maker of it. The owner of it. But what does the scripture say about Israel and his owner? He don't know his owner. He doesn't know I am. So he thinks they are. That's why Israelites keep everybody else holidays. They see another culture. Oh, St. Patrick's Day. Niggas got green on, wearing green hats. Some Irish shit. And you see Israelites all over the earth wearing green hats, drinking green beer too. Cinco de Mayo comes around. You see a bunch of Israelites all over celebrating Cinco de Mayo. Valentine's Day. You see them celebrating Valentine's Day. Sweetest Day. Every time they give you niggas a day, y'all flock after that shit trying to be like the other nations. Instead of trying to be like I am. You don't like what God made when he made you? You don't like a person who can manifest what he wants without having to labor in the 3D for it? You don't want that? Well, that's not real, grandson. That doesn't work that way. That's what heathens think. That's why Christ said all of these things the heathens chase after. But be not like unto them. Why is he telling y'all this? Constantly telling you how separated you are, how different you are. And yet you won't spend all your time trying to figure out what makes you different. You don't spend any time trying to figure out what makes me separate. What makes me unique. Your lifestyle does. How you live. Your power is compassion. It's mercy. It's kindness. I don't give a damn what they tell you. I don't give a damn what they try to make out of you. They're not your maker. They have no rights to put their hands on you. And to put their hands on your heart and your mind. They did not create it. All they had enough ingenuity to create was a piece of paper with a picture on it. But then give that back to them hoes. And you take your heart and you give it back to who owns it. Because these damn heathens don't own your heart. Even though they try to make it look like it. Oh, it's wintertime. I'm going to turn your heat off and watch you freeze because you didn't pay me no fucking money with a picture on it, whore. Oh, okay. That's what you say. But I say I am warm. Because that's my power. I am is. Y'all tell me it ain't. Then I'll stop talking. But as long as I'm right, I'm going to keep talking. Just because you tell me I ain't right don't mean I am. Niggas always want to tell you what they think you is. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. Okay, well, I say I'm this. You can't change me from feeling that about myself. No one can. Only I can. So then I'll decide to feel loving thoughts about myself, compassionate thoughts about myself, merciful thoughts about myself. And what are you thinking about me? Now, why are you thinking that about me? I don't go to your neighborhood and tell you what to think and feel. I don't go to your nations and tell you what to wear and how you should act and what makes you valuable. I don't do that to you. So why are you doing that to me? Because I'm real. So I got to be the one that's tested. So y'all hear that today, Israel. Know yourself and know your distinctness so you can be it. Salaam, Mr. Allah.